How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Invest in Wealth channel. Today's video, we are going to be doing a portfolio update for you guys. We're going to go take a look at how my accounts did in the last week. Then we're going to dive right into my positions in each account. Then we're going to talk about what kind of happened in the last week in the markets here. So starting off, our portfolio value is at $140,904. Let's take a look how my first home savings account did in the last week. We are up 1% or $102 in the last week. These are my positions here. This is a fairly new account, the first home savings account. So we own 15 shares of Bank of Nova Scotia, which I'm down about 6.5% here. The banks are just continually on the downcline here, mainly due to the fact of the high interest rate environments, and they are writing a lot of their bad loans off on the books, which is what you see in the annual quarterly reports. Lots of investors are kind of weary about how the loan provisions are going to affect the stock price moving forward here. But I'm sure when the interest rates start to drop, the banks are going to have a big spike there. So I don't mind holding lots of Bank of Nova Scotia or the other Canadian banks. But moving along, we have CNR. This stock is very on sale right now. I own this for the growth mainly. I own 11 shares, down about 6.14%. We also own CP. We have 8 shares, and kind of in the same boat as CNR, we are down about 6.5% as well. And then just over half of the first home savings account, VFV actually makes up for it. So this is the S&P 500 index. This is the largest 500 companies in the US based on the market cap. And we are up about 1.85%. Time horizon for this account is probably 4 to 5 years. I would like to max this out. We get $8,000 worth of room every year, up to $40,000. So I definitely want to take advantage of this account and get that nice tax deductible for my income tax at the end of the year. So this is a great way, and everything is tax-free that I make inside this account, which is awesome. Moving along to my tax-free savings account. In the last week, we are up actually quite a lot, 4% or $1,162. Allied properties we own, we are getting pretty beat on this as all REITs are kind of on the sharp decline. Again, just the fact that we are in such a high interest rate environment, REITs do get hit hard in these times. So we are down about 31% on Allied properties. Definitely still looking to dollar cost average in this, as I do see tons of value in the REIT sector moving forward. Then we have Enbridge. Enbridge has had a great week in the last week. We're going to talk more about this later, but we did see the gas and the pipeline stocks kind of skyrocket here based on the fact of the Israeli-Palestine war that has been going on the last couple weeks here. So I'll touch more on that later, but moving along to Pembina Pipeline, same story. This stock is up huge as well. We own 300 shares. We are up 7.25%. So Pembina Pipeline in the last week, they're up 5.71%, mainly due to the fact that the price of oil spiked on Monday due to that kind of conflict in Israel that I was speaking on. Then we have TXF. This is the Tech Giants Covered Call ETF. We own 734 shares in the tax-free, and we are up a nice 13.5%. Then we have VFV. We have 10 shares, and we're about break even on this position. My contribution room for the tax-free in 2024. I'm thinking it's going to be 7,000. I've seen that number kind of published a couple times here and there. It is not set in stone. That could change, but my thoughts are that we are going to see $7,000 worth of new contribution room. I'm definitely going to be putting most of that to VFV and a bit more to my allied properties position. Moving on to my RRSP account here. In the last week, I am up 3% or $288 due to the fact that we do have quite a bit of Enbridge in this account here. I have 1 share of CNR that I just recently bought because I received some dividends in this account. So we are about to break even on that. Then we have 48 shares of Enbridge. All time we are down 7.4%. Very small position of HYLD, down 3.44%. And then we have TXF, 433 shares. We are up 7.88%. Do have a tiny bit of money here. Probably just going to wait till I receive some more dividends and most likely going to add more to my CNR position. Moving on to the largest account, which is my non-registered. We are looking on the Canadian side here. So we are up 2% in the last week or $1,624. These are my positions here. Bell was recently at a 52-week low. I did pick up a couple more shares of Bell. It has bounced back over the, it's gone up about $1.70 since I last bought it. So that is great to see. Bank of Nova Scotia, big position here. We are down about 14.5%, but that is all right because I am holding all these positions for the long term. CNR, our long-term growth stock, 21 shares in this account, down about 2.65%. Enbridge, another huge position here. We have 413 shares, down about 11%. Even though I'm down 11%, Enbridge has paid out well over what I am losing on the value, so not too concerned with that. Then we have Great West Life. I have recently sold off a bit of this position here just because we are up a nice percent there of 13%. I do sell when it goes above the $40 mark. Then we have HMAX and HYLD. These I just own for the monthly income. Then we have Royal Bank. We have 33 shares. We are down about 5.7%. This is probably the best Canadian bank for long-term growth. They don't pay as high of a yield as TD and Bank of Nova Scotia, but definitely going to be wanting to pick up more of Royal Bank as they are the largest bank in Canada and just their track record. This stock is great for long-term growth as well as the dividends. Then we have TD Bank here, 110 shares, down about 9.5%. Then we have another large position of TXF. So this is the 25 largest tech companies in the United States. We have 733 shares and we are up about 15.5%. And lastly, we do have VFV. This is our S&P 500 index again. 63 shares, down 1.2%. Really looking to build up my position in VFV in the next year. Definitely going to make that probably my largest, if not second largest holding. I want it to be at least 25% of my overall portfolio size. I'll just be dollar cost averaging in that slowly during the next year and a bit here. We'll see how it goes, but I'm trying to shift my portfolio from the Canadian dividend stocks in Canada to the US growth stocks. So I believe the best way to do that is just to buy the S&P 500 index. Taking a look at my US side now, we got about $5,000 US here. Last week we are up 2% or $75. we just own some tech companies here in this account, some Apple, Google, Microsoft, and then I do own Tesla for their dividend income. So this is a very risky position. This is completely speculation. Their yield is like 49% or something crazy like that. So just kind of bought this just for fun, just to kind of see what happens here. It's not a huge position, so not too worried. And plus I can afford the loss if things do go south. But looking at that yield there, it's kind of crazy, but definitely just bought this one for speculation. I did not do much buying during the last week here. I just kind of sat on the sidelines, just kind of watched the markets a bit. But we are going to be doing some buying to the end of this month. We are going to be receiving dividends from Bell. That's the wrong one there, but Bell. We are going to be receiving dividends on the 16th of October. They're paying out a nice 7.4% yield, so that will be some great income. Our Canadian banks, Bank of Nova Scotia and TD, they're as well going to be paying dividends. So Bank of Nova Scotia, this will be a nice big paycheck. Own quite a bit of shares of that, and they also their yield is about 7%. TD's yield is a little bit lower, but it will be a nice payout as well. Own about 110 shares. But something I am going to talk about is the kind of conflict going on in Israel right now. If you guys are in oil stocks, you guys have probably had a good week. As we're checking out the chart of Suncor, during the last week, they're up about 6.5%. We see on Monday here, the price completely skyrocketed due to the news of the conflict there. The only kind of oil and gas sector stocks I own, I do have some pretty big positions in, are Enbridge. So last week they were up 3.3%, and PPL is also very involved in the oil and gas industry, and they are up 5.71%. Just to wrap up the week here, let's take a look at the indexes and how they have performed the last week. So the S&P 500, we are green on the week. We are up 0.6%. Taking a look at the NASDAQ on the week, we are up again by 0.32%. So the S&P has outperformed the NASDAQ this week. Now taking a look at the Dow Jones index. In the last week, they are up 0.81%. And then looking at the Canadian TXX, we are up big time, 2.33%, mainly due to the fact that the oil, gas, those stocks have had a big jump in price, and that is what the S&P TSX composite is very largely made up of. So it was a good week for the Canadian investors here, so we will take that. I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for watching these videos. I'm going to be releasing another Canadian dividend stocks to buy that are on sale. I'll be releasing that very shortly here for you guys as well. Just wanted to say thank you so much for liking and subscribing. Been gaining lots of subscribers lately, so I do really appreciate that. All right, that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.